So, show of hands of anyone who knew about this story before it was made into a movie? Anyone? So I saw White Boy Rick, and I don't know about this movie. I mean, what's it about? Well, this movie is about a kid, a 15-year-old kid named Rick, who he by the age of 16 he deals drugs and becomes an FBI informant, and this is supposedly based on a true story, and that's really just his life for the next like 3 years, and living in the shitty areas of Detroit. Now, what I like about this movie, well, it stars Matthew McConaughey as Rick's dad. He actually is awesome in this movie. He is he is a phenomenal actor. His acting has improved since like all the chick flicks that he's done. He is a very solid actor, and I liked about him. He was very good in this movie. He plays Rick's dad, who's also named Rick. So his basic name is Rick Jr. And he is basically an arms dealer trying to, like, a very, very low arms dealer, just trying to make ends meet for his family. And the movie was composed very well. Like, the shot composition was great. It was shot very great. The cinematography, all the technical aspects about this movie were good because it's kind of like what a Hollywood movie should be like. Now, what did I not like about this movie? Well, first of all, the actor that plays White Boy Rick is awful at acting. He is terrible. I've never seen an actor show as little emotion as this guy. And what's frustrating is that there are glimpses in this movie where he actually does a good job acting. But he can't act in this movie. He's like, oh, no, I don't know this person. And it's just so straight-faced and emotion. It was so stiff. His acting was so stiff that I was like, wow, dude, like, I can act better than you, and I suck at acting. I don't know. I just didn't understand it. And this movie, the pacing is weird, and it is choppy as all hell. It is choppy as crazy. You just wouldn't believe how choppy it is. Like it just kind of jumps from one scene to the other, to the other, to the other. And also, like I said, the pacing's weird. Like, there are times where it just drags and drags and drags, and then it'll pick up and then drag and drag and drag again. And I have to quote Jeremy Jahns on his review. It's that this movie feels like that they could have gone deeper with this story, but they couldn't, otherwise the movie would be like 4 hours long. So his suggestion was they should have made this into a series or a miniseries, and I have to agree with that. Like, the concept of this story is interesting. You see, like, a 15-year-old kid do all this stuff by the time he's 16. That's crazy and interesting. But here's the problem: is that the movie doesn't make White Boy Rick interesting. Like, and it makes me it makes me question why this story is even adapted to a movie if this is all they can come up with. I mean, a good example of a drug dealer story being interesting and actually kind of looking into is Pablo Escobar, probably the most well-known drug dealer ever. What made him interesting is that at his peak, he had 80% of the cocaine trafficking throughout the world, and he was like public enemy number one, but he also donated a lot of his money back to poor Colombian communities, so a lot of people saw him as a hero. So that's interesting. This story about an American 15-year-old kid in shitty area of Detroit rose to be this the sort of drug kingpin. That is interesting on paper, but not so interesting in execution. And this movie just wasn't. It was boring in parts. Like, I honestly was just I was kind of waiting in there, and the only thing is that they try to make you feel sorry for this guy, but like, he breaks the law. I understand it's to help make his life better, but he breaks the law, and they say, like, dude, you're gonna break the law, you're gonna get in trouble, and he does it anyway. And I'm not going to say the ending, but because this is based on true stories, so you can just look up the ending on Wikipedia. But all I can say is that, like, well, he got what he deserved. And I'm not implying anything, but he got what he deserved because he broke the law. So, I mean, this movie just was not worth my time. It really wasn't. I mean, it's not as bad as, say, Slender Man or The Predator or anything like that, but it just was, this movie was just not very good. So I give it a 4 out of 10. just not very interesting. And honestly, there's not really a casual moviegoer I really recommend this to, because there are so much better true story, like true crime movies that are based on true stories that are way more interesting to watch, like Blow, for example, or even Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Those are both based on true stories, and it's more interesting, and those movies are way more interesting than this one, and I just can't recommend it to people. Alright, thank you everyone for watching my review, and if you want to watch my last one, it is over here. You want to click my face drawn down below and subscribe, that'd be awesome. I try to upload at least once a week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!